For today, we're playing MGS Delta and with the RTX 5070 Ti. And we're playing at 4K and at the max settings with no DLSS for now. Yeah, 30 FPS, guys. 30 FPS is what you're going to get if you play at 4K with no DLSS. It's barely 30 too. I'm sure it's going to fall down into the 20s in a second. Here we are, 28 FPS there. So it can fall down below 30. It does look good, but it should not be this intensive. This might be the most unoptimized game of the year. Or even the last 5 years, actually. It's somehow worse than Monster Hunter, which is saying something because that game was awful. And performance DLSS, it's now near 60. It looks as good as before, for the most part. And FPS-wise, it has doubled. I guess almost doubled. And here, we're sitting at 50 FPS again. So, wow, even 49. So yeah, 49 to 50 FPS. It feels, it's pretty good for the most part. 48, it keeps falling. 47, 46. It keeps going lower and lower, dude. That's insane. At 50, it's fine. It's playable on a keyboard and mouse. It feels fine. But, I mean, 45, 46, that gets rough on keyboard and mouse. On controller, it's still okay, I think, for the most part. So yeah, with DLSS, we can't get a stable 60 going on this GPU. It falls down to 45, 46 in those heavier scenes. And the VRAM has gone up to 12 gigs. This card has 16, so it's all good there. But yeah, 4K, I would lower the settings if you can't stand falling to 45 to 50 FPS. And 440p, no DLSS. 60 FPS here. I guess almost 60. It does fall down to 50 as well. Got my gear already, nice. So before we had 30 FPS to 35. And with DLSS we had 60 for the most part. And heavier scenes into the mid 40s. Let's see how we go here. And there we go. 47 FPS down here. Yeah, trying to aim at 46 doesn't feel that good, if I'm being honest. On keyboard and mouse at least. Alright guys, DLSS. And yeah, 60 FPS with the GPU being down to 70% in this area with the helipad. It does look nice though, I will say it does look nice. Some scenes do look really bad though. If I pause the game here and go to Cure, I can't see the X-ray. The X-ray looks awful. Oh, here we go, look at this. This looks awful. And the cutscenes sometimes can look pretty bad as well. But for the most part, this does look very good. And 60 FPS is doable. Now it's time for the real test. Will the FPS fall down below 60 FPS? Let's find out. And yeah, we can get 60 FPS, but the GPU is almost maxed out at 95%. 98%, it is maxed out. And there we go. It fell down below 60. That's crazy. Can you piss off? Hold on a second. Let's use the AK real quick. I haven't used this thing yet at all in my playthrough. See ya. It can fall down below 60, but it's only by a few frames, so it's not too bad. Kinda crazy though, that this card can't get 60 FPS at Ultra with DLSS active. And finally guys, this is 1080p, no DLSS. Hey, 60 FPS, let's go. Now, will it last? That is the thing. I'm going to say no. I think it will fall down below 60. But I guess we'll see in a second. Personally, for me, I'm not a fan of DLSS in this game at 1080p. It does look fine for the most part. But if you have this card, like, why would you want to play at 1080p with DLSS? Makes no sense. Increase the res, use DLSS, the game will look sharper, and you'll have your 60 FPS on top. Alright, here we go. And the GPU is getting close. It's maxed out. Oh my god, it does fall down below 60. Look at that. We can't get a stable 60 at 1080p on this card. That is insane. So yeah, 53 to 55. It does feel fine, but it is crazy that we can't get a stable 60 on this card at 1080p with no DLSS. Okay, let's reset. Try DLSS, see how it looks, and yeah, 60 FPS should be doable at that point. DLSS does look pretty okay here. It isn't too bad at all. But again, for me on this card, I would skip 1080p. The game will look much better, much sharper, and your FPS will be 60. So Like, why wouldn't you? 60 FPS and the GPU is going up to around 80% instead of being maxed out. So yeah, that's it guys. That is MGS Delta and with the RTX 5070 Ti. The game is obviously playable. You can get 60 FPS at all resolutions. 4K Ultra is tricky. I would honestly lower the settings to either high or medium for that one. And obviously use DLSS on top. If you don't care about the FPS and you're fine with 40 to 60 FPS, then yeah, it is playable at Ultra, but you have to use DLSS on top. If you're playing a native, it will fall down into the 20s, and at most, it is the mid-30s. Now coming down to 1440p, you can get 60 with DLSS, but in those heavier scenes, you might have some extra dips on top. If you are playing a native, it will fall down into the low 40s, up into the mid-40s. So honestly, that's a skip. Enable DLSS, it will look very good, and you're going to get a near 60 FPS experience. If you need a solid 60, then lower the settings to high or medium as well. And 1080p for this one is honestly a skip. It looks okay, I guess. It isn't amazing. And 60 FPS can't be hit if you are playing a native. So you're forced into using DLSS to get a stable 60 at Ultra. So yeah, skip 1080p. On this card, it's a waste. And either play at 4K or 1440p. So yeah, that's it guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, I'll see you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.